Hi, I'm Isaiah Lucas, and I have the privilege to serve as your student body president here at ODU. I'm a senior political science major from Newport News, Virginia.
My name is Jawan Jacobs, and I have the privilege of serving as your student body vice president. I am a senior, double majoring in interdisciplinary studies and communications from Chester.
So our first question is, what is SGA?
All right, so SGA is an acronym for Student Government Association. We essentially bridge the gap between students and administration. We try to make sure that we take all student opinions, concerns, any issues they have with our university, and we try to put that into action with our relationship with administration. So we govern the students and we represent the students, and we do that in a variety of ways. But our whole purpose is to make sure we represent every student.
What advice would you give to incoming freshmen?
Incoming freshmen. Well, I have a lot of advice to give, but I would say the most important one would be to get involved. I cannot tell you how lucky I am to have the connections that I've had, my academic success just from getting involved. Just from going to the involvement fair, which is the first Thursday after you guys move in. Just joining student organizations, learning things outside of the classroom that can help you inside of the classroom, things that you'll never know that you can actually get involved in, learn about without getting involved. So I would definitely say that getting involved is one of the main keys to success at ODU.
Want to answer the question also?
I would just piggyback off what he said. Getting involved is literally the best decision.
Oh yeah.
It just stretches the whole campus. So.
So, what role do your positions, president and vice president, play in SGA?
Ooh. All right. Okay, so as vice president, the main thing I would say that I do is I meet with we have 8 directors in student government. I meet with them once a week. They range from different areas and issues on campus. So we have safety and transportation, wellness and sustainability. We have off-campus life and satellite campuses, so on and so forth. And I meet with them to discuss the programs and initiatives that are going to help you guys, the student body, definitely advocating, making sure that you guys are doing everything that you guys need to do. You're coming to us with all the issues that you guys have so we can advocate for you. I also co-chair Web Council, which is all of the offices in the Web Center meet and we discuss things that are going on in the Web Center. So I co-chair that. We have that once a month. I also sit on Faculty Senate, which is a lot like Student Senate, but we deal with more the academic side. So I sit on that, and I'm a student representative for that. So I advocate on you guys. I advocate for you guys on behalf of like majors, things that might be changing in the curriculums for the current year or the year to come, things like that.
And as president, I pretty much do a lot of external stuff, meeting with the university president and the board of visitors and all the vice presidents, and making sure that I have an agenda that represents the student body as a whole. We have a very diverse student body, and every student need and want is different. So making sure that we have a way to pull in those opinions and put it into action. So I'll say a lot of things I do is meeting with President Broderick on a regular basis, talking about the climate of our student body and how he can assist in fulfilling what we want to see on campus. We meet regularly with Dr. Neufeld, who's the Vice President for Student Engagement and Enrollment Services, and we all just kind of all meet regularly just to talk about where we are as a student body and where we plan to be.
Awesome. How has getting involved changed your college experience?
Okay, you can start.
Getting involved is truly, like I said before, is the best thing you can ever do. I came here as a transfer student, so that looks a little bit different than everyone else's journey. So coming here as a junior, everyone pretty much has their niche at that point. So getting involved really helped me make friends on campus. It helped me get a routine going on campus. So that's how getting involved has helped me, because when you're a transfer student, there's already automatically a gap going to a new school. So I believe that getting involved helped to bridge that gap.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, I honestly, getting involved was one of the things I was looking forward to the most. I was very active in high school, and my sister had just graduated college when I was about to come in. So she told me that getting involved was definitely the key to success, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's definitely not true. Like, I'm there for academics only. And then I participated in Freshman Summer Institute, which was run by the Office of Leadership and Student Involvement. And that was only 3 days, but I can't tell you how much my life changed from those 3 days. I found out who I was as a student. I found out who I was as a student leader, and that definitely contributed to my success during my time here at Old Dominion thus far.
Awesome. We do have a question from Mr. October, and he would like to know what inspired you to run for SGA?
Well, for me, my journey is a little bit different. I've always been involved in SGA since 10th grade. I was a vice president in 10th grade, and in 11th and 12th grade, I was the president. And then when I was at Richard Bland, I was the RHA president. So when I came here, I always had a passion for representing students. Like I said, my major is political science, and I enjoy the political atmosphere. So being able to represent a large population and being a voice for people, and being someone that people can trust to make sure that you're always listening and putting what they want and what they're worried about into action. So that's why I ran for student government.
I've been involved in SGA since my freshman year, and I'm a firm believer. My mom always used to tell me that foundation is the key to success. So the reason I specifically ran for vice president would be because I feel that vice president is strictly internal with some external duties, give or take. But you really have a say in what the organization does. And I feel like if the organization has a strong foundation, then we can properly advocate for you guys. So I definitely think that my student leader mindset was best for internal purposes. So like my knowledge in SGA was definitely something that I feel like I could inspire other people with so that they can advocate externally for the student body.
Awesome. What role does SGA play in student success at Old Dominion University?
That's a great question.
That's a really good question, yeah.
I think that just what we do as an organization plays a role in student success. Student success, like I said, it's a really big and vague concept. You can succeed in terms of diversity. You can succeed academically. So I think SGA just serves as that middle ground. We provide a lot of resources for students. So like if you wanted to succeed academically, we can provide you with Scantrons and Blue Books. If you wanted to succeed living off campus, we can provide you with alarms and light bulbs just in case it gets dark in your room. So I think that we are a middle ground for resources for students to help them succeed.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, I would say I think it's a sense of comfortability. I would say that it's such a different culture, like a different climate coming to university, whether you live off campus or on campus or you're a commuter, so on and so forth. So I think having SGA being there to advocate for your issues, knowing that we take all issues, if you're a commuter, we want you to feel like your voice can be heard also. I think having that sense of, like, I'm at home, this is my home away from home, definitely contributes to student success.
I'm sure that's a question. Okay, we have a question from Nicole. What is your favorite part about ODU?
My favorite part about ODU is just the change that we always do. A lot of universities are pretty much set in stone. I think that ODU is a blank canvas for all students. Each year you can make your experience here different. Our campus thrives. Our campus is always moving. Things are always changing, and I like to be in an environment that always changes. We have new buildings getting built on campus. We have a lot of offices moving. We have a lot of new edits and additions coming to the web center. So I think that my favorite thing about ODU is that we don't stay at a lateral position. We always move and we change.
I'd probably say the football games. I love the football games. I really love football. And it's just fun. Like, it's just a fun atmosphere to be around. Like, the student section, there's nothing like it. Just being with your friends, like, oh, you're getting a touchdown, like the cannon going off, even though it scares me every time. It's definitely something that's really, really fun to do. You really see, like, the sense of Monarch pride. Like, everybody's excited to be there. Everybody wants to cheer the team on. It's really like one ODU,
Awesome. What services does SGA offer to students?
Oh my goodness, so many. Wow, that's a good question.
So I would say some of our most popular services are we offer Scantron and Blue Books and Green Books and Green Scantrons to students. You can come in here and get any paraphernalia that you want. We have shirts, water bottles, bags, books, anything you can think of. We have light bulbs, we have alarm clocks, and I think that all of our directors are a resource for students. So if you had an issue with safety and transportation, we have a liaison for that. So I think that our whole office is just a resource as a whole.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You said it all.
How can one become involved with SGA?
All right, so there are a few different ways that you can get involved with SGA. I would say the surface level way would probably be to become a committee member. There's no exact requirements to be a committee member. You just walk in the office. Um, the different 8 committees that we have, you can join any of them. I'm gonna try to name them all. We have administrative affairs, which deals with academics, student organizations, things like the library. We have student life, which mainly deals with housing and dining, but we're looking to branch that out. So maybe like athletics. I know that's something our president definitely wants to do. Just the student life in general. We have off-campus life and satellite campuses. So they directly work with our off-campus student life office and the 3 satellite campuses we have: the Peninsula, the Tri-Cities, and the
Virginia Beach.
is it Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach.
Yeah, Virginia Beach campus. We have public relations and recruitment, which deals with all of our public relations events, our recruitment events. So that would definitely be one of the main people to talk to if you were interested in joining SGA. Safety and transportation, so that deals with anything from like parking passes to maybe the G4S ambassadors, the third party that you see walking around. A lot of people don't know that they are a third party and they can help you. Let me think. Finance. Yes, finance. So that deals with student organizations, budgets. So if you ever have a question, contingencies and co-sponsorships. So if you're looking to have an event for the first time, or maybe you don't really have as much money as you thought, or your event was going to be bigger than you thought, you would talk to the director of finance. They would definitely put you in the right direction.
Wellness and sustainability.
Yes, wellness and sustainability. So that deals keeping the environment of ODU healthy, keeping it clean. The student recreation center, the village university gym, things like that.
LAD.
Legislative affairs and diversity. So they mainly work with our Office of Intercultural Relations. They help out with things like GA Day, where we go to the Capitol and we advocate for things like tuition, things like that for the student body. And the legislative affairs side is more like, I know this year we're going to focus a lot on free speech because that's a hot topic in society. So I think that is all.
We're going to have a lot of task force this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that hasn't been done in a while. So task force is a group of people that come together for a specific issue. So one of the things we want to do, like Vice President Jacobs talked about, is building the gap between SGA and athletics. So we're going to create an athletic task force just to get more students involved in all of our athletic events. So there'll be task force for you to get involved into.
So we have a question. What is your advice for students that are looking to transfer?
That's all you.
So if you want to transfer, first of all, ODU is a great school to transfer to. They have dedicated staff on all different divisions on campus to help transfer students. We have a transfer student success center here. We have 2 dedicated transfer admission counselors. So the resources are definitely here for transfer students. I would say the transition is very easy, especially if you're coming from a community or junior college and you have the associate's degree. All your general education requirements are waived. Even if you're coming from another university, most of your credits will transfer over here. They have articulation agreements with a lot of different schools. So I would say if you get involved, the transfer will be seamless here.
So here are some of the questions from social media. What kind of sports teams do you have at ODU?
We have a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot. Okay, so I would say we have 3 different levels of sports. So we have our Division I sports, which is our basketball, our football, our baseball, so on and so forth. And then we have our club sports. So club sports is kind of like D1 sports. You still have that competing aspect. You still have to pay a fee, things like that, but it's not as demanding. So if you don't necessarily want to walk on or you don't get recruited, you can still join a club sport. They do compete. They can be all up and down the East Coast. And then we have our intramural sports, which is a little bit more relaxed. You kind of just like get a group of friends, sign up at the SRC, and you just compete with other students. It's definitely fun. You go in the student recreation center and see them doing stuff like that all the time. They actually have tournaments. They win cool prizes, cool trophies, things like that. They get their picture hung up on the wall in the SRC, which is really, really cool. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of chances to do sports at ODU.
Awesome. How can I get in touch with fraternities and sororities?
I think that our involvement fairs are the best ways to get in touch with our fraternity sorority. We have a lot. Our Greek life fair is very energetic. We have MGC, we have IFC, PHC, we have MPHC, and all those are always reaching out to people. They do a lot of community service on our campus. They do a lot of programming on our campus. So I think that going to our involvement fairs when they have tabling events, just going up and introducing yourself to people some of the advice I can give you.
How do we find out what time we're supposed to move in on the 24th?
Every student should have gotten a moving guide.
Yes. So you should get a move-in. You should have been emailed the move-in guide, which I believe has the information regarding. It's usually by your last name, and you get a time slot. And I do know that you're going to be getting an email from housing very relatively soon. It's the 7th, so yeah, very relatively soon about your specific time slot. If you don't look at the move-in guide by chance, so you get a time that you're allowed to come in and receive your key, and then your student ID will be activated. You can start moving in and stuff like that.
And last question, is there a place we can find specs of our room and furniture, specifically Whitehurst?
You can always call HRL. That information may be provided on the moving guide. When you can get in contact with your hall director, your RA, they will all have that information readily. I will say that in Whitehurst, our freshman dorms usually have twin XL beds, and most universities have that same standard of twin XL. As far as dresses and stuff go, that varies from building to building. So like I said, I would get in contact with your building staff.
And I lied. Last question. What is your favorite quote or saying that you live by?
Okay. So I actually just heard this quote a few weeks ago, and it was so inspiring. So I was served as an FSI counselor, and we were in training, and one of the graduate assistants in leadership and student involvement said, "Aspire to inspire before you expire." And I thought that was definitely so cool to me because it's very easy to want to do things, like to aspire to be this way, but it's also important to leave your legacy, so it's very, very imperative that you have the chance to inspire other people before, your time is done at the university, which I would say to all of the incoming freshmen, all students here, definitely aspire to inspire other people before it's your time to leave the university.
And I'll say with me, I think a lot of times as a youth environment, we set goals that we all sometimes don't believe are reachable. We set big dreams and big goals. So one of the quotes I like is from Henry David Thoreau: "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you have imagined." So I live by that quote. So anytime I have a dream or a goal, I have to just approach it with confidence, and I know that I will achieve it.
Awesome. Any last things you want to say before we close out?
We're definitely excited. Definitely excited. I'm so excited.
Please
so
use
fun.
us as a resource.
Oh yeah, please.
We are here for you. Anything you want to see on campus, any opinions, any negative things you have, any positive things, just use it as a resource because we're here for you and we don't want to get bored. So just use us.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
Bye.